Today, we're going to review some simple troubleshooting tips with Windows and Linux discovery jobs. First, I'll navigate to my hypervisor's Linux and Windows discovery, and I'll drill into my Windows job. I have two systems identified in my Windows discovery job, and looking at the results, I can see that one has failed and one has been successful. When I click on the failure, I'll see the IP address, and I can see it failed the port check. One of the simplest methods to test is to navigate to Tools and log into the Appliance Manager. Once logged into the Appliance Manager, navigate to System and choose Connectivity Test. My first step will be to see if the system's even reachable. I'll put in the IP address and click Submit. This will verify via ping if the system is accessible. If it's not accessible, then I'll need to diagnose on my network why the main appliance cannot reach the system. I have 100% packet loss. Going back to my discovery jobs, let me observe my Linux systems. On my Linux systems, I also have two IP addresses configured, and they're both communicating on port 22. When I scroll down to the results, I can see that the port check has succeeded, however, the authentication has failed. When I click on the authentication failed, I can see that this is the target that the authentication failed. Port check was succeeded, authentication. I'll need to check in my job that the credentials are correct for that system. And I can verify that with either a system admin or by using another application such as PuTTY to attempt to log in and communicate with that system. Another common area that fails are SNMP jobs by not having the correct community string. This can also be verified using the Appliance Manager, putting in the IP address of the remote host, selecting the version of SNMP that's used, and the community string. In most cases, by default, public is the community string. Another verification tool that can be used is by checking a particular port is available. If I use my Linux server and I verify that port 22 is available, I can see that it was able to connect on port 22. So this tool can be very handy to verify network connectivity between your Device 42 Appliance Manager and the rest of your network. If you have systems that are being connected from a remote collector on a different network segment, then it's best to use a tool on that network segment to verify connectivity and that the available ports are accessible.